Super excited too. We're going to learn a little bit about skincare, which is it's one of our most important things that we have within our line. So it's very important for us to actually know what we are selling. And we're going to finish off the class with a little bit of tips and tricks on how you guys could sell. So we're going to do a little bit of product knowledge, but then as well give you some tips on how to sell. So let's wait a little bit for some people to log on, and we'll take off like in 2 minutes or so. But before we're waiting, I want to see, can everybody hear me and see everything good, the screen and everything? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Let me see if I could do this so I want to know where everybody's visiting us from. Where's everyone from? I know I see some people from Chicago. I see some people from Miami, but I want to know where else. Where's everybody from? So let's see the chat. Venezuela, Atlanta. Awesome. So we have a little bit of from everywhere. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys really enjoy this class. Um, Once it's over, I want you guys to know that you guys could contact me anytime. I'll be more than happy to assist you guys in anything that I can. That's what it's all about. The team, that's why it's called network marketing because we're in this together. So if I didn't go over something or you didn't understand something very well, please feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to assist you guys in any way possible. Or we could share it in the group chat where we could all kind of just share our ideas and stuff together. So I think that's going to be very, very important. So let's see. All right, we're going to get started soon. But now that I went into the chat, I can see my screen. Okay, there. Perfect. All right, so I think we're going to kind of kick off everything here because I don't want to go over time. I don't want to make this too long. So I'm going to go right into it, if that's okay with everyone.
Ya, lo siento.
It's being recorded. So the good thing is that if you guys later on want to watch it again, you'll be able to see the recording. And for all of you girls or guys that are out there that don't really know me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. So, about 8 months ago, I was going through one of the hardest seasons of my life. I had moved to a new city, trying to rebuild my business, and I really felt like I really didn't have anyone that I could lean on. And financially, things weren't the best at that time. Things were a little tight, and even my marriage was going through some challenges. So I didn't even feel the support from him at that point. So it was a really tough time for me.
Como
And
entiendo,
um, and I have actually been in the beauty industry for over
terminará.
20 years. I have been working as celebrity makeup artist and I have built my own cosmetics company, HR Beauty, and makeup has always been my passion. Okay. And art the makeup of art and obviously doing it with a purpose. It's always
Como
been
agarra ahí.
the way that
Agarra
I
ahí.
express myself. It's the way that I express my creativity. So it's something that I'm
Cógelo,
very
coge el
passionate
man, coge
about.
el man.
But when all this was happening, um,
Ven, ya
pharmacy
me
came into my
llama.
life. That's what started it started as a side
Ven.
opportunity that was presented to me from a great friend of mine, Marger, that is on right now. So I found this opportunity for me to actually get back in doing what I love. And it's helped me financially now, thank God. And it's reconnected me with a purpose and rediscover the passion that I have for helping other people and for actually doing what I love. So I'm super excited about this. I've only been doing this, like I said, for 8 months. I don't know what your story is, but I know that you are in the right company, you're in the right place, and you're here for a reason. Just how I was looking for something new and something exciting, I'm pretty sure you are there too. So Thank you
Toma,
so much for being here, and let's get to
toma.
what we started and what we're here for, okay? So we're gonna go all about skincare, okay? So I already gave you a little bit about welcome to the pharmacy, but if not, then welcome to pharmacy. What's really nice about pharmacy is that we have really high-end quality products at a very affordable price, which is amazing. I came from doing makeup for a very prestigious line where obviously the price point was very high, and sometimes it was heartbreaking because I saw people from my community. I saw people that were around me that were like, oh my God, Hernan, I love the products, but they're so expensive, I can't afford them. And here I have the possibility to offer these people amazing products at a very reasonable price. Okay. So with that being said, let's get right into it. And it's understanding the unique skin types. That's the number one thing, because when we're talking about skincare, obviously we're talking about how are you going to take care of your skin? How are you going to take care of it for yourself and for your clients? Because keep in mind that here we're also going to be selling something to someone. So you want to know at least the basic 101 of how or what products are ideal for that client base. Okay, so let's talk about skincare. A lot of people always, let's talk about skin types. So a lot of people always say the combination is a skin type. I don't see it as a type for the reason that I necessarily always divide them into four types, which is dry, oily, sensitive, and normal skin. The reason why combination is not one of them is because it's a combination of those four. Okay, so that's the number one thing. Let's understand where you are or where is your client in those four spectrums. Are they dry? Are they oily? Are they sensitive? Or do they have more of a normal or combination? Okay, so that's the number one thing. Okay, I'm going to go through them real quick and talk a little bit about ways that you could identify what type of skin do they have. Okay, so someone that's going to have dry skin is somebody that you're going to see automatically, and you're going to see that they pretty much have a little bit of scabs to the skin, that there's not a lot of luminosity, the skin is more dull, it needs some light. Okay, and not only that, but then you're also going to see that their lines of expressions or their wrinkles are more noticeable because there's no hydration to it. Okay, so those are all different characteristics of someone who's dry. Okay, somebody who's oily, you're gonna see that when you see this person's skin, they're gonna be really shiny to the skin. They have prones to acne. They have open pores. And one thing that is very important here, especially when we're talking about oily skin, is that when somebody says I have oily skin, it's going to be someone that when they wash their face, automatically, like 5 minutes later after they wash their face, their skin is oily again. If that's not you, or is that if that's not your client, then that person is not a true oily skin person. Okay, that is very important because people always have the tendency of just saying, oh, yeah, I have oily skin because they get oily throughout the day. But that's not necessarily true, or necessarily that you're a completely oil skin, because our treatments are going to be completely different. Okay. So now, sensitive. Characteristics of sensitive skin is going to be someone who has redness to the skin, somebody that automatically has like little bumps, or if they put anything on their skin, it starts to flare. Anything like that, it's going to be someone who has very sensitive skin. Okay. And then the normal skin is obviously the one that we all want to have, the one that looks perfect, the one that's all even skin tone. That's the one that it's ideal. Okay. But the products, what's beautiful about skincare is that we have products that are going to take us to that normal skin. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next slides that come. Okay. So I hope that kind of helps a little bit of determining where you are with your skin type, because then from here we're going to break down into the products and which ones are ideal for each skin category. Okay, perfect. So like I was talking about, Farmasi is amazing because it has skincare for everyone and everyone's needs. Okay, and again, the beautiful part about this, you as the beauty influencer, you have 50% off of all these products. So it's something that obviously you could splurge on a little bit and kind of try it all, because what sometimes works for one person doesn't work for another. Okay. And it's not necessarily because the product is not good or the product doesn't work. It's just that everybody's skin is completely different. So we have to always give it a try it out, see how it works. And the best thing that I always tell people, when, especially when you're trying out skincare, is you at least have to try it for a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks so you can really start seeing a difference if you're consistent with the product. Okay, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the steps when it comes to your skincare routine. We're going to start with the morning. Okay, so the skincare steps that we usually would have to take is our cleanser. Okay, everybody has to wash their face. It's going to help take out any of the residue of other products that you had, or any impurities that were built up over the night. Okay, and then from there, we're going to go into our toner, and the toner is there to balance the pH and to tighten the pores. People usually think like, oh, the toner is only just going to take away the excess dirt or whatever the cleanser didn't take off. And it's not necessarily true. The toner goes further than that. Like I said, it's going to help balance the pH in the skin, and it's going to tighten the pores. Okay? And then the next step that we go right after our toners, it's going to be all our serums. Okay. And that's going to target specific, each serum is going to have a specific target. So maybe hydration, brightness, anti-aging, all that. We're going to go into that. But the serum, it's what's going to happen, and it's going to it's going to go deeper into the lower levels of the skin. Okay. So it's going to go way deeper. Okay. So that's the next step. And then from there, we go into our moisturizer. The moisturizer, it's what locks the hydration, and it works on the upper layers of the skin. Okay, it's gonna help. It's gonna be like that barrier to your skin. Okay. Then from there, we have the eye cream. Okay. Everybody always asks us, well, I really don't use eye cream because I have like my normal day cream that I put all over. I put it underneath my eye, and it's good enough for me. Well, let me tell you, that is incorrect. Why? Because the face cream, it's done for this area. Okay, for anything below the eye area, because around the eye, we have the thinnest layer of skin. And not only that, but it absorbs very different than the rest of our face, because our rest of our face has multiple layers, so it has room and space to absorb. The parts that's right underneath the eye, it's very thin, and there's not a lot of meat or anything like the rest of the skin, right? So what starts to happen when you start to put regular cream on the bottom of your eyes? It's going to absorb, and then where is it going to go? It doesn't have nowhere to go. So what's going to start to happen over time? You're going to start getting little puffiness underneath the eye. So that's what kind of starts to also happen if there's nowhere for that product um, um, to kind of absorb into the skin. Okay, so for that reason, eye cream is very important, because it's actually made for the eye area. Okay. And then we're going to finish off during the day routine with our SPF. Even though some products say that they have SPF, that's phenomenal, that's great. But the SPF 50, it's going to be amazing to finish off everything, because it's going to protect you from any damaging UVs, and it's going to prevent you from premature aging, which is one of the main things why people start getting into skincare. I was talking to a client of mine the other day, and she goes like, well, I've never really used skincare, but I think I'm getting to that age where I think I need to now. Well, you should always be using skincare, and you should always be using sunblock, because you know what? One thing is that is very important to me, and that I've always talked to all my clients too: never base a product on the person's age. It's more on the quality of the skin and how they've taken care of their skin throughout their lifetime. Okay? Because you can have someone that's 65, but she always wore sunscreen and she always used really good skincare, or she really had a great skincare routine all her life. Well, guess what? At that age, she's going to have amazing skin. It's still going to look plump. It's still going to look even. But then you have someone that might be in their early 30s that all she did her whole life was suntan and never used sunblock and just used makeup and used to go to sleep with her makeup on. Well, guess what? Her skin is not going to look as great as my other person over here. So I'm going to recommend products depending on the quality of the skin and not on the age. And that's something very important that you should also keep in mind when you're talking to your clients. Okay. So now let's go through the night routine. The night routine is going to be a little different. Okay. Because we're going to start the night routine clearing, cleaning up the skin from all the makeup and anything that you used throughout the day. So it's going to remove your makeup, it's going to remove the sunscreen, the dirt, everything that accumulated throughout the day. So you're going to use a makeup remover and a micellar water. Our makeup remover is amazing. The balm, the makeup removing balm is to live for. I don't like to say to die for. It's to live for. Because all of it, literally you're going to put it all over and it's just going to melt everything away. Okay? So that's a really good option. Then right when you do all your removing all your makeup, what are we going to do? We're going to cleanse. We're going to use the cleanser to take up all the impurities, okay? Because that's going to go more into the deep cleansing of the pores and everything else. Okay, then if you see here at night, I also have exfoliators, but I have a little star next to it. And the reason why is because we don't exfoliate every night. You should always exfoliate, I want to say maybe about 2 to 3 times max a week. Okay? And what's an exfoliator? What's the purpose of it? Why do we need to exfoliate? Okay? Well, I'm going to give you a little inside little, not a trick, but it's a little thing that I always tell my customers. And me and Marie had a class the other day and we were talking about this. And I was asking the young ladies there in the room, and I was like, why do you guys think that men usually have a tendency of looking younger than women do? And a lot of the women out there were telling me, oh, because they give us all the problems and they give us all the stress. Well, yeah, aside from that, one thing that men do without even noticing what they're doing is exfoliating because they actually shave. They shave what? 2 to 3 times a week, exactly how many times you're supposed to exfoliate. And if you really take a look in your boyfriend's or your husband's or whoever at their skin looks much younger from here down than it does from here up. And that's because, like I was saying, they're exfoliating 2 to 3 times a week without even noticing when they shave. Okay? Because exfoliating is taking away all the dead skin cells so the new skin could come out. Okay? So that's why it's important for us to exfoliate at least 2 to 3 times a week. Okay? So then from there, we go back to our toner. Okay? So our toner, like I said, it's going to help prepare, it's going to help absorb the rest of the products, it's going to help balance the pH. Okay? Then from there, we're going to do our serums. But now you're seeing that it has little stars. We're going to have our oils or any extra treatments that we're going to do. Okay? Because these are the ones that you're going to be able to switch off depending on the necessity that you feel that your skin has. Okay? It's kind of like I always like saying it like this. It's like those products that you have in your medicine cabinet. In your medicine cabinet, because you have a Tylenol, it doesn't mean you're going to take a Tylenol every night just because you have it. You take it when you need it. So there's these certain products that that's the same for your skin, that depending on the necessity or what you're feeling that your skin is needing at that time is when you're going to use them. Okay, so that's why I have under serums, I also have the oils and the treatments with the little stars. Okay, good. So then from there, we also go back to our night cream. Again, we talked a little bit about the importance of night cream and so on. Okay, and then we finish off with our night moisturizer and our sleeping mask. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about moisturizer. Night cream is very different than your day cream because then I also have a lot of customers that are like, no, I don't need it. I don't need the night cream. I already bought the day cream. With the day cream, it's fine. It's completely different. If you notice, day cream is always lighter and night cream is always going to be a little heavier. I usually like very interactive classes, but obviously we have so many people here, so I can't do that. But why do you guys think, I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds just to think about it. Why do you think that night cream is always much heavier than a day cream? Just think about it for just a couple seconds. Okay. Well, the reason why is because our skin is the largest organ that we have. Okay. So what happens when you're sleeping? It starts to rejuvenate. It's kind of helping, right? It's kind of starting to rebuild itself, kind of like, but what does our organs and everything need for us to work? Water. So what happens throughout the night? We get more dehydrated because we were trying to absorb all the water that we have in our body for it to work properly. Okay? So I don't know if you guys notice, but do you notice that you wake up more dry in the morning, like right when you wake up, like your skin feels a little more dry? Well, that's because it was trying to absorb the water from everywhere that it can so it could replenish. So for that reason, the night cream is always more heavier and it's a little more rich because it's going to give that nutrients and the hydration that the skin needs for the nighttime. Okay? So it is important that you use the night cream. Okay? Not only that, but usually day lotions or day creams have an SPF. SPF at night accelerates that dehydration because SPF dehydrates the skin. Okay. So it's a very, very important that you do explain this to your clients. And that way, it's also going to help you because then you'll have a double sale. You'll have your day cream and your night cream. Okay. So, yes, it's very, very important. And then the other one that I have the little star there is the night mask. We have a night mask that is to live for. And we're going to talk a little bit about more of that one, but that's where you would put that kind of product also. And you would substitute it with your night for your with your night moisturizer for that evening. Okay? Perfect. So now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Now we're going to get to know a little bit of all the products that we have because we have some amazing, amazing products. Okay? So we're going to start off with, oops. We're going to start off with the Aqua line, okay? The Aqua line is perfect for anybody that's combating like any dryness or flakiness to the skin because it's going to really help with hydrating the skin, okay? One thing that I always want for you girls to take, or girls, guys, to take away with you is since we have so many products, it's important to just know at least one or two key points from each line so you could tell your clients. Because it's going to be impossible for you to know everything about everything. Okay. And this class, I want it to be very simple for you to understand. And not only that, but something that you could just take with you and have these key points. So when you do talk to your clients, you know what you're going for. For this one thing that I always tell my clients when we're talking about the Aqua, the key point here that's very important, that's very unique to ours, is it has Patch 2O, which it provides hydration and it helps your skin stay hydrated for up to 48 hours. Okay, so that's what's really amazing for it. So anybody that feels dehydrated, anybody that feels or has any flakiness, this will be perfect for them. Okay, so we're good there. Let me know at least some, I want to see some interactions. I see everybody's face there, so I want to know we're all good. All right, so we're good there for the Aqua line. One of the main things that I love here in the Aqua line, I'm going to talk about like little key products. One of the key products here to me is the drops, the hydro drops. They're amazing. I love them because I travel a lot. So I'm always on the airport and on the flight, and people who fly, usually know that your skin gets dehydrated because of the altitude and everything. So I suffer a lot from dryness, especially in this area. So when I know that I'm going to travel or anything like that, I always carry my little hydro drops. I put them underneath my skincare routine, and it is like literally a drink of fresh water to my skin. Okay, awesome. So now with that, we have our tea tree, which is amazing. Okay. This is more for someone that's going to be addressing acne, anybody that's going to have more of an oily skin, and it's going to help maintain that balance in the complexion. But what's really nice about this line is that even though it's made for someone with oily skin, it's not going to dry the skin. It's still going to be nurturing to the skin. And here's another thing. When I was younger, I used to suffer from acne. And I always had this mentality that because I was prone to acne, I didn't have to use a moisturizer because it's going to make me break out more. Well, it's completely the opposite. Your body produces more oil because it needs nutrients. So that means that you're going to produce more oils, meaning you're going to break out more. When I started using a moisturizer and when I actually started taking care of my skin, it was like night and day. It completely changed because now my skin was telling itself, you don't have to produce that much oil anymore because they're assisting me now. They're giving me the nutrients, they're giving me something. So I don't have to produce that much. Okay. Now, one thing that I do want to keep in mind, um, let you guys know about this is, especially someone that is very acne prone, especially if you're selling this to somebody that's much younger or a client that does have occasional breakouts, they might break out more with this when they use it for the first time. Why? Because it's taking out all the impurities. That's why I always say give it about 2 to 3 weeks. You have to try the products consistent for at least 2 to 3 weeks because it's not going to happen overnight. Okay. And like I said, it could happen to a client or even yourself that by using this, you actually might break out more. And that's normal. That's fine because what you're taking all those impurities, you're taking everything out, it's pushing it out. Okay. And what key products do I have here from the tea tree? We have our soap, which is amazing, the bar soap. Okay, that one you could use it all over the body. You could even use it in the face. And like I said, it's still very nurturing, very it hydrates the skin, but it's also going to help purify and calm the skin. It's amazing. So that's one of the key items. The other one is the serum. The serum is amazing. Only thing, because I like being very honest, it's very strong and it smells strong. So what's the proper way to do it? I had a client that, and it was my mistake because I wasn't clear with her since the beginning. She grabbed it and she put it all over like a normal like serum. And she later on she called me. She goes like, "Oh my God, I loved everything, but the serum was really strong." And I was like, "Oh my God, how did you use it?" That was my mistake, and that's why we have to learn from that. The right way to do it is getting a Q-tip and applying it in certain areas where you actually need it because it is very strong. Okay. So those are the two key items that are superb with our line. Another thing for the serum, I know it doesn't really have to do with skincare, but it does have to do with the skin in some way or another, is it's even great for dandruff because the tea tree and the rosemary help kind of help as an antibacterial and helps as an antioxidant. So people even grab it, put it a little bit with their shampoo and massage their scalp, and it's amazing. Okay, so that's another thing that you guys could also use for the tea tree. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to our next one, and it's Calendula. Okay, this one's amazing for anyone who has dry to sensitive skin because it's going to provide some hydration and it has soothing properties. And it's so crazy because at the beginning I was like, what is Calendula? Well, calendula is a flower. Because I had to look it up because at the beginning I was like, I don't even know what calendula is. Everybody talks that it's great, but what is it? So it's a flower, okay? And our key products here with the calendula is the soap, amazing, another amazing product. The oil is superb, and the balsam, it's great. Okay. I actually was told by one of my cousins that um, she learned about pharmacy, not through me because I wasn't even in pharmacy at this point in my life, but her daughter, she would buy pharmacy, the calendula line for her daughter because her daughter has eczema. So the oil, she would apply the oil to her skin and then she would finish it off with the balsam to kind of like uh, um, use it as the like a protecting seal to the skin. And she lives for it because she really sees a big difference in the quality of the skin that it changed on her daughter. So the good things about this calendula also is that it contains avocado oil and it also has vitamin C, vitamin E for antioxidant and protection. Okay, so that's a little bit about the calendula or anybody who has sensitive skin. Now we have the Lumi Radiance, and the Lumi Radiance is more there to combat dark spots and achieve more of an even complexion. So if anybody has any of dark spots here and there in the skin, it's going to help really even everything out. What's really great about this and the key points that you should really put is that there's like an 80% that agree that their skin looks so much better. Okay. So it really works. And one thing that you would do it, the way to that I always tell my clients to do it is kind of like when we were talking about taking the serum at nighttime, use the drops instead of your serum that day. Okay. And you could actually start noticing a big difference within 4 weeks. Okay. The main ingredients in the Lumi line, we have the bearberry extracts and the papaya fruit extracts. Okay. The papaya is also going to help with the luminosity to the skin to really make it look more rich and more luscious. Okay. Okay. And right before we get into these, I want to go back and I'm going to kind of stay in the Lumi. All those lines that we talked about are targeted to a certain skin type. Okay. Do you have to stick to the whole line? No, because it's exactly what we were talking about when we were talking about determining your skin type. We have combination where you need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay. So for that same thing, the same way, I consider all lines almost like the four types of skins where you could grab a little bit of each one depending on what your necessity is. Okay. And now the main ones, the ones that we call them like our superstars in skincare is the age reverence. Okay. And this one's to prevent. That's something that you guys have to really keep in mind. It's to prevent lines and wrinkles. Okay. And it's going to help with the hydration of the skin. Okay. Two key things that I always tell my customers about this. Like I said, let's keep it simple because your clients want to know what is it going to do for them? Well, the seaweed extracts are going to give you collagen. It's going to help with the collagen. And the algae is going to help you with the hydration and help you with the environmental impurities. Okay. Those are two key points that I always tell my clients. And just with that, they're like, oh, perfect. I love it. Yes, give it to me. Okay. So always know at least those key points. So you could always refer back to when you're talking to your clients and their necessities. Okay. This is the one that we were talking about that has the Age Reverence night mask. Amazing. The night mask is a really good alternative to your to your night routine with your night cream. If the next day you want to wake up with a really radiant skin where it's going to give you like that glass look to the skin, it's truly an amazing product. And like I said, and that one is not necessarily that you're going to use it every night. Like I said, it's every 2 to 3 days, kind of like the same day that you do your exfoliating, you switch it off to your night mask. So you could kind of give your skin a nice balance. Okay, awesome. Then we're going to go to our resurface. And the resurface is going to help you achieve more smoother, healthier skin, and it's going to be more of an anti-aging. Okay? So this is someone that's going to have somebody that you're going to really start to notice more of their lines and wrinkles. Okay? That's why it's called resurface, because it's going to start making everything come back smooth. Okay. And if you're consistent with it, two things again that I really focus on, it's you're going to see a reduction of lines and wrinkles at 10%. And it has type 1 collagen, which is synthetic collagen, which is amazing. It's very, very high. And believe it or not, you will see a difference in your skin if you use the serum. Because remember, the serum works on the lower levels of the skin and the creams work on the upper layers. Our serum is amazing. The only thing that you do have to be very careful with the serum is that it does have retinol, so you have to make sure that you only use it at night. Okay? Awesome. Then other two key products that I love and everybody has to have in their skincare routine is our SPF 50. Because like I said, everybody, no matter what type of skin you have, has to protect their skin. And our SPF 50 is amazing. It's lightweight. It doesn't leave you that white residue like other sunscreens do, and it's perfect underneath your makeup. It's not going to change the color. It's not going to give you that really gray look to the skin. It's really really nice. The quality is superb. So everybody, if you haven't tried it, it's a must. Okay? And then the next one is the glow serum. Okay, the glow serum is there to actually give more radiance to the skin. It is going to help address the dark spots. But it's going to be something that it's going to, because a lot of people ask me, well, what's the difference from the Lumi? If the Lumi also does the dark spots, what's the difference from the glow serum? Again, it goes by the quality of the skin. If you have somebody who has really severe age spots and stuff, then we're going to go with the Lumi. If it's something that's a little minor, if it's something that's need more luminosity to the skin, something that's going to start addressing dark spots, then we're going to go with the glow. Okay? Awesome, awesome. And then now that we talked a little bit about the products, like I know I'm going through this really fast because like I said, I don't want to keep a lot of your time and stuff. But again, if you guys have any questions, if you need a little more in depth, please feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to assist you in any way possible. Again, we are here in this together. That's why they call it network marketing, because it's all about being united. So again, if you have any other questions and stuff on skincare, or you have a question about a client or anything, shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to assist you. But now that we know a little bit about our skincare, what's good if we don't know how to sell it? I mean, we're all here for that. So now let's talk a little bit about how we're going to sell it. Okay. The first thing that I always go for, the first thing is you have to lead with a solution, not the product. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that the customer in reality is buying a cleanser for what it does. Okay. The cleanser helps, like let's say for instance, if you're talking about a certain cleanser that helps calming the redness, okay. She's gonna buy it because of the solution. Okay. You have to really understand the need of that client. Okay. So lead with the solution. Okay. Hear your client. Okay. So now the next one is tell the story, don't give speeches. A lot of times people like start talking about ingredients and all this and makes it more complicated. And the customer, you lose your customer. They're like, oh my God, no, that's too much. Lead by telling a story. Here, I've been using this product. It's amazing. I use it every night and I start seeing my skin really radiant all of a sudden. It's a story. I'm telling them my experience. Okay. So tell them the story. Don't give them a speech about it. Okay. Awesome. Then the next one that we have here, and I'm moving this because the screen kind of has you girls like blocking my thing. Okay. So then the next one is use the try me moment. Okay. And what do I mean by use the try me moment? Do a mini demo, do half a face. Look at the difference. Try it. Like the night mask. One thing that I do with the night mask all the time and it works is I put it on their hand on one side, on one hand and on the other, and then I tell them, look at the difference. Look at it. It's the try me moment. Show it to them. Okay? It's a visual. Okay? Then the next one is, oops. Then the next one is create personalized routine. What is it that your customer needs? I have a client of mine that and I believe she's actually even on right now, and we were talking about that she doesn't have a routine. She really doesn't use skincare, but it's starting to get to an age where we all have to. So then I always tell my clients and my people, I'm like, what is your necessity? Let's create what's going to work for you. Okay. And like we were talking about, we have all these amazing products that we could have the possibility to create something that's ideal for each person. So let's say, for instance, I don't know, Marie, I'm saying because Marie just popped up right now. Marie's telling me, she goes like, you know what? I'm missing a little bit of hydration, or like I feel like my skin is really dry here and there, like when I travel or whatever. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna give you your skin type, all your skincare that you need, but I'm gonna add the hydro drops. And you're gonna add those hydro drops when you really feel that you need that extra hydration. So now, see, now I'm customizing it to what Marie's needs are. And that's what we have to do. We have to listen to our customers to create that personalized routine because then they're gonna feel like it's theirs. Okay. And then educate them. It's all about education. And it's kind of like what we were just talking about. Like, find three little things that are important that don't sound like you're reading it off of a book. Okay. If you see like in the presentation, I didn't use the real like extravagant words and ingredients because people don't care about that. People want to know how is it going to work? What's the deal? Like why? They don't care if it's high, low, blah, 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 whatever it is. They just want to know what is it going to do for me? So educate them at a very personal level. Okay? Don't complicate things. And keep it conversational, just kind of like us right now. We're having this conversation and we're talking about how this product is super amazing. It does great things for your skin. You're really going to start seeing a difference. Like we were talking, that one you're going to see 10% in like a betterness in your skin. It's so great. Keep it conversational because you want to connect with your client. You want to create that trust. Okay. So that's how I sell and how I make it easy because that way people could connect with me. People trust me. They know you're not just another salesperson trying to sell them everything in the lights. Yes, we want to sell them everything in the books, but that's not what it's about. Because if they trust you, they're going to come back to you and they're going to come back to you and they're going to come back to you. And repeat sales are always better than one big sale. Okay. So those are the steps that I kind of use to kind of make sure that I'm consistent with my clients, that hopefully this could kind of help you too. And take that into account. And then, like I said, I love chatting with people. So get in contact with me. I know there's a lot of girls who on the chat started writing to me, and I've been chit-chatting back and forth. I had so many, honestly, that I felt horrible because some of them contacted me and I couldn't get back to them in time because I had so many messages. But believe me, I will get back to you. It may take a little bit, but I will get back to you. So feel free to send me any questions, any messages that you need, anything that you need when it comes to skincare, makeup, and I'll be more than happy to assist you girls in any way possible because we're in this together. We're going to grow this together. Okay. And then hopefully this helped. I know it was very, like I said, I try to keep it as simple and as basic as possible because that's what's important. We need simplicity. Sometimes we complicate ourselves too much. Okay. And the simple way that we put it to people, the more they're going to connect with it, the more they're going to understand it, and the more trust you're going to get from them. Okay. So I can't wait till next week because next week is like my thing, which is makeup. So today was all about skincare. Next Thursday, we're going to do all makeup. So now that we know a little bit of every skin type, now we're going to go into the makeup of what type of makeup goes with each skin type. Alrighty? So hopefully you girls all enjoyed a little bit of this class. You could also follow my new YouTube channel. I relaunched it. I revamped it. So please go follow it. Go check it out. Send me some messages. Maybe we could do some lives together. So hopefully you girls have an amazing rest of the week. Let's close this month. It's almost over, so let's close it. Let's kick some behinds. And again, I wish you girls all the best. And let's go sell some skincare. So big kisses. Have a good one.